Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we just reached another rank up for the Turali travel agency. So, Liplu, what do we do next time? Or this time, rather. Recruitment drive. What am I going to do? I can't seem to find anyone up to the task. Oh, Desiree, you have a wonderful habit of appearing exactly when I need you. I've got a problem on my hands. Don't worry, the agency's doing just fine. The Offenshire tours have been a runaway success, and if bookings stay steady, we'll soon recoup all the recent outlays. Well, that's actually the problem. The upper reaches of Kozama'Uka are proving too popular. We're struggling to meet the demand of our current number of tour guides. I want to address the issue before the burden starts wearing the staff down. You aren't aware of anyone in need of work who knows the region like the back of their hand, are you? Now we already recruited the Hanu and the moblins. A certain bandit gang comes to mind. You don't mean the bandits who kidnapped Dawn servant Vuklamat during the Rite of Succession? I'm sure they know the area well, but... hold on. I do remember hearing about a group of miscreants who turned themselves into the Landsguard not after the ascension ceremony. Apparently they were later released on parole. I suppose if they're willing to atone for their crimes and genuinely wish to make a fresh start? My inner abacus is clacking away. It says we should speak with him at the very least. Reduce the strain on our staff, have former bandits give back to the communities they've wronged. Yes, everyone stands to gain much from a potential arrangement. Would you be willing to help track down these bandits? I knew I could count on you. Let's head to Many Fires and see what we can glean from the locals.
Has Mobby heard wind talk of bandits? I'm afraid not. These parts have been peaceful of late. Plenty of time to fish. Although I did eye-catch a scrawny fisher in the woods not far from the Seaver's mantle. A ton of water with crazy hair as bright as Jigglyshine. I wonder who he was.
I'm looking for a group of recently pardoned bandits. That's not ring any bells.
Ah, you seek of a bandits let out on parole? Sneaky takers, a lot of them. They spread many bad feats in the village with their crimes. Cheese was not for them. Apparently they were eye-catched not long ago. Mobby dreads to think about the inevitable recidivism. I hope that they have time to reflect on the wrongness of dirty taking and are ready to make an honest living.
My goodness, it's you! You came here with Dawn Servant Connor seeking information about a bandit that related me. Is there anything I can help you with this time? I'm looking for the bandit again. Ah, you wish to know what happened to Wafkesa and his band of brigands after all that? Well, I gave away some to the Landsguard. I even confessed the whereabouts of their stolen goods, that everything might be returned to their rightful owners. Sure enough, my merchandise made its way back to me. Apparently some of our victims were so moved by the gesture that they petitioned the Landsguard for a more lenient sentence. Perhaps that's why Vuklamat granted them parole. I don't know how they've fared thence, but I've heard nothing to suggest they've been causing trouble. Anyhow, you'll have to excuse me. I must meet with a client in Okopasha. I do hope we meet again someday. Any news of the bandits? No banditry, but I heard of a fisherman that fits the description. Ah, so they turned themselves in, returned their stolen goods, and are now living in the wilds after being pardoned. What's more, it seems they haven't fallen back into old habits. Let's make for woods to the south. That's where the angler spotted Dwarf Kisa, right? I hope we'll run into him there. I must admit I regret being so bold. But then again, what do I have to fear with you by my side? Starting to think I'm not cut out for fishing, and a man can't live off scrounging berries forever. What to do? Hey look, there he is. Ah, you've had sold the devil of a sellsword. Listen, I turned myself in. Even gave back what I stole. Put that life behind me for good. What more could you possibly want from me? Offer you a job? I have a proposition for you. And why should I trust you? You're here to get revenge for a kidnapping, aren't you? I assure you, as my associate says, we really do have a proposition for you. I'm Liplu. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll get straight to the point. If you're serious about keeping to the straight and narrow and make amends for your past crimes, perhaps you'd like to work with us? At the Turali travel agency? Work for you? I see your scheme, plotting to haul me off to the mines under the guise of employment, aren't you? Curse you blackhearts, I endured to survive after I escaped. I won't set foot inside another mine while there's still breath in my lungs. Wait! That was unexpected. And all the talk of mines, he seemed genuinely traumatized. This way, I want to find out what happened to him. Hopefully that way we can clear up this misunderstanding, have proper discussion. I had to ask, but could you find Wafkisa and bring him back here? He was awfully fast, but I doubt he could outrun you. Don't care how fast they are. They'll never find me here. What are you looking for? What? Ah! Unbelievable. I run full pelt and yet... what's the use? Listen, I know what we did was inexcusable, but after it came to head, we made an oath. An oath to never walk that path again. I won't bother another soul. I live out my days on the fringes. Please, just leave me be. You're saying this is all a misunderstanding. Well, it's clear there's no escaping you regardless. Fine, I hear you out and put my fate in your hands. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Your associate says she wants to talk, and I'm prepared to listen. I apologize if we frightened you, Wafkisa. That was no intention. Are you willing to tell us where you fled? Before we get to that, I want you to be honest. Do you really have a proposition for me that doesn't involve dragging me back to those godforsaken mines? Yes? In that case, I'll be honest with you. Me and the rest of the gang first came here after fleeing Jacques Turali. I'm sure I don't need to tell you But Turali has been a hotbed of development since they found blue gold beneath the plains. Among the folks that got their hands on a drilling permit, there were more than a few looking to get rich quick. The kind of despicable bastards who didn't think twice about sending kids into the tunnels. And we worked for the worst of the worst. Day after day, toiling and wasting away, till we died or escaped, we eventually realized. So we smuggled ourselves out in an empty cerulean belts. You can imagine what happened next. That the withdrawal of a foreman tried to hunt us down, so we fled to Kozama'Uka and took to banditry, as much to conceal our identity as to make ends meet. Right or wrong be damned, we would survive, but when we heard that Dawn Servant Hukula Mark spoke of our plight during the Ascension ceremony, we decided to turn ourselves in. After a time, she showed us mercy and gave us a pardon. Even so, there's still that fear of what might happen if a foreman or his lackeys were to find us. Thank you for sharing your story and telling me of the struggles you and your friends have experienced. Let me assure you that I do not wish to bind you with contract or chains. I offer only the opportunity for you and your comrades to provide for yourselves. To make an honest living on your own terms, so how about it? How does working at the Turali travel agency sound? That's more than any of us dared to hope for, but what if word gets back to the foreman, if someone shows up to haul us away and we drag you into the affairs? I need to look into it to be sure, but I honestly don't think there's much chance of that happening. Thanks to the efforts of the Dust Watch and the Daybreakers, Shannon is no longer the lawless place it used to be. Besides, I've been working on a plan to help reintegrate former outlaws into society. I'll be sounding out the Wing of Reflection to see if they can support the initiative. I'm sure the new Dawn Servants will give their blessing. Bet they would. Incredible, but you know, it feels like we should be begging you for the opportunity. We've burned so many bridges. I'll make damn sure you don't regret this. That said, what exactly are we supposed to do for you? About all we're good at is manual labor and pathfinding. Though I do also know my way about to cook fire after feeding miners for all those years. Oh, that wasn't part of a plan per se, but I think your culinary skills might come in handy. A restaurant on site could be a real honor. As for your comrades, we've been looking for individuals with an intimate knowledge of the upstream Kozama'Uka who are also capable of handling themselves. My plan was to employ them as guides turned protectors after thorough assessment and proper training. I'd say it's about time we got back and continued preparations. Mafkiza can meet us back at the agency in Dock Poga once he contacts his friends. Real honest work. Something tells me we won't get another chance like this. Welcome back, Desiree. I reached out to the Wing of Reflection. It was just as I thought. It seems Wafkiza's fears were unfounded. The situation with the ruling fields has changed dramatically in the past few years. Groups like the Daybreakers have put an end to the practice of child labor, and the Dust Watch have all but stamped out the violent duels that used to be so common. As for the company you and your comrades worked for, they have long since been shut down by the Daybreakers. For its part, the Wing of Reflection is committed to the restoration and preservation of law and order in Shalani. Any new unscrupulous drilling operation is swiftly dealt with. You needn't worry about anyone coming after you. Thank the heavens for that. In that case, we can commit to doing our part and repaying our debts. We've decided to set aside some of our earnings and repay folk for all hurt we caused, you see. Wonderful. Simply wonderful. It's a pleasure to have you on board. Thanks to the efforts of Liplu and her special advisor, Bafkisa and his comrades have agreed to join the Turali travel agency. With this influx of new recruits, the shortage of staff that had threatened curtail expansion into Orphanshire has been resolved. While his former crewmates begin by training as guides, Bafkisa himself will be devising a menu of delicious local dishes as head chef of the agency's brand new eatery. Be sure to assist him and his crew of former brigands on their road to rehabilitation. You've achieved honored reputation with a Turali travel agency. New Pelo quests are available from Ubli. I am but a humble merchant. It is my place to absolve Bafkisa of his past feats. What I can do, however, is give him and his comrades the opportunity to start afresh. They may end up letting me down, but I decided to put my trust in them. When it comes to matters like this, sometimes you just have to listen to your inner abacus. Old quests turn in. A sympathetic ear. Those former bandits make for surprisingly hard workers. I admit I was nervous about employing them at first, but now I can't imagine running the agency without them. I wonder, however, if I have any qualms about the work they do for us. As you know, the Wing of Reflection is supporting the initiative and we need to report our progress. Would you mind heading out and assisting with the employee interviews? A Hanu guide is out at many fairs with one of them at this very moment, lending a sympathetic ear to their concerns. Worth a wait. An important shipment has just arrived from Orphanshire, delivered to the nearest wharf by Punutui. The problem, however, is that the crate is extremely heavy. I like to have it moved before arriving customers trip over it, but our moblin porter appears to be struggling with the weight. Could you go down to the wharf and lend a hand? The porter will tell you where the crate needs to be. I have a request from Bafkisa. Something about making an urgent delivery to a guide out in the middle of a sightseeing tour? Could you please talk to him and see what you can do to help? Did Ubli send you my way? Good! Because I really need someone to make a food delivery. When the tours head out to far-flung places, I pack lunches for groups to take with them. One each for the customers and one for the guide. Can't have him going hungry now, can I? Well, today a guide friend of mine took the lunches with her as she usually does. Being an incurable scatterbrain though, she only grabbed the customer packs and forgot to take her own. I need someone to deliver a meal to our forgetful guide before she pushes too far on an empty stomach. You'll find her somewhere around Marsh Ligaka, hopefully upright and not fainted by the wayside. Local cuisine is pretty good.
Special Advisor, thank you for coming to help hand Floppy Arm Mobby. Potthorn gold work is popular choice for Kozama'Uka memory keeping, but a crate holding many goldcraft is too heavy bulk weight for one moblin to move. Please, he needs an iron arm adventurer to carry it to the supply officer.
"60 seconds. Is that the shipment from Orphanshire? Thank you for bringing it in. I would have picked it up myself, but sorting out our inventory has kept me chained to the storehouse. Portsworn craft is in high demand, and maintaining a steady supply has been a logistical headache, to say the least. We've just had a customer asking about availability, so I'd like to get this gold work on the shelves sooner rather than later. Okay, now the interview. You want to hear about our worries and woes? You people are too good to us. Ah, you're just in time. And please feel free to chime in while we discuss this lady's concerns. Tell us, how do you feel about your tour guide duties? It's fine if you're simply enjoying the work, but please don't hesitate to share any issues you've encountered. There was something bothering us lately. Most of us from the old gang, well, we're not the most polite bunch. We try to watch our tongues, but old habits die hard, and we're afraid the customers are put off by our rough way of talking. The Hanu and the Pelu have their own quirks as well. Yes, we all speak a little differently. That's exactly the kind of thing our customers are here to enjoy. I hadn't thought about it like that. My thanks. That actually made me feel better. I'll let my comrades know we've been worrying ourselves over nothing. I'm glad we were able to put your concerns to rest. Now it's time we return to our guide practice. Please, send my best regards to Ubli. I'm so hungry, I'm starting to smell the lunch I forgot to bring. Wait, do you have it with you? With greetings from Wafkesa. And here I was resigned to finishing a tour on an empty stomach. Thank you for hiking all this way just for me. We'll take a break to eat the food Wafkesa packed for us. Then we'll be on our way. You can let them know back at Doc Poga that everything's going to schedule. Thank you for listening and providing encouragement. Our new trainees may have been outlaws once, but none can deny the effort they're making to redeem their less than savory past. Although, just between you and me, the chance to be escorted by a former bandit has become something of a draw for certain customers. In any case, as the agency continues to expand, I'm sure new concerns will arise. I'd appreciate it if you could be there for them again when the time comes. Thank you for taking care of the delivery so quickly. The Portsworn's gold work we sell in our shop is highly sought after by customers with more expensive taste. It seems a memento like this becomes all the more special for having found it in such a memorable surrounds. Which is all to say that if we're not careful, our stock soon runs dangerously low. I'd be grateful if you could help out again, should we need a hand. Welcome back, Desiree. You were able to make Wafkesa's delivery then? He puts a lot of thought into those lunches of his, making sure they're both filling and filled with a good mix of healthy food. Such meals are essential for those longer tours into the wilderness, so hopefully his forgetful friend will remember us next time. Okay. And We have more employees here now, and a kitchen, or a restaurant even. Good, and with that, I think I end this episode. Until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Mace, and don't get lost.